Al mundo poco debe importarle quién llegará primero a Marte, si Estados Unidos o China. Poco debe interesarle quién será el próximo campeón mundial en Qatar 2022, o quién se convierte en el próximo presidente de los Estados Unidos. Al mundo le interesa saber a quién se le dará el premio Nobel de Medicina por encontrar la vacuna que salve a la humanidad.
Were you expecting this nightmare at the beginning? Would you anticipate as an expert that this disaster might happen here in Britain?
No, I mean, we do have pandemic preparations, but the social care sector wasn't involved in it. So it was about lots of other things. So there was a committee that was sitting and the pandemic has been planned for. I think sadly, we were not included in the plan. So no, we didn't anticipate it to the degree that it's come about. We've had neurovirus, we've had SARS, we've managed to keep it all away from our services. So we had no idea that COVID was going to be, and the problem with COVID is because its transmission was so unknown at the beginning. It's important to say that everybody was doing their best, and that includes government ministers. Everybody was trying their best. But I think what happened is we just didn't know, and everybody was moving very, very quickly, and it got very chaotic.
Protect the NHS, he said from the very beginning, and that means protecting the hospitals. And what about the others, no?
Yeah. I mean, I think that the focus was to protect the hospitals. And the hospitals, to be honest, managed very well by and large in England compared to many other countries because the focus was on that. But it was at the expense of things like social care that we had the challenge, because the most vulnerable people were in care services and they were then left exposed.
How many homes you look after in England, and how many reported pressure from the government or from the local hospital to receive certain residents?
Well, we look after about 1 million people in care homes and home care services, learning disability services. We employ 1.6 million people in our services. So it's quite a large. We contribute 45 billion to the British economy. So we're quite a large sector. And what needs to be understood is we support the NHS, because otherwise these people would be under the hospital schemes. But because it's private, we're able to look after people.
Obviously, people without the need of a ventilator. So, okay, this could be dealt at the home. They were sent at the home without any testing, and then the staff agencies maybe going from home to home,
I mean,
spread the disease.
There some of because of the way that the care home staff work, some of them work in more than one home. Some work in hospitals and then work nights in homes. So I think there is a real challenge around how that movement might have contributed. So yeah, I think there is a challenge.
Not enough testing, not enough PPE. Were you asking how can we get hold of these tests? Where they come from? Do we make them in this country?
All the time. We didn't have any manufacturing in this country. So it was all coming from abroad, and it was being requisitioned for the NHS.
And when you start getting calls, this is happening here, you started to panic, and what was it?
Well, we started to look at all the other suppliers. We were being contacted from all over the world, and we started to find suppliers for our members. And so, you know, we were able, but it was very, very expensive, and it cost. Some homes were telling us they paid £8,000 for 1 week of PPE. £8,000. And many have told us they've spent £60,000-70,000 in just this period, and none of that is recoverable.
Would you know? I mean, we saw these massive places outside Birmingham, outside Cardiff, outside London. The Excel 4,000 beds. Couldn't have said no. This is wrong. You know, these people are having symptoms. They need hospital care, not home care.
Yeah, I mean, I think that, you know, capacity in hospital, which is what our Prime Minister was focused on, was seen to be the most important thing. And I think that's where all the focus was, because we
in detriment of the care homes,
to make sure that the hospitals could cope and had enough ventilators and enough equipment to support people who were
and they were there. The beds and the ventilators at some point were there.
Yeah, they were there, and so we can't say that wasn't a success. I think it's just the fact that so many other people were left because because of it.
And one of your colleagues said we were thrown to the wolves.
Yeah, we've had people saying they felt abandoned, they were thrown to the lions, thrown to the wolves. A real feeling of, well, abandonment is the biggest term that gets used.
Some people decided to let go, not fight enough. You think some families agree that for underlying conditions it's not worth it and decided to just go in peace, or no?
Well, I think some residents were at the end of, what you have to remember is people we look after are sometimes very, very ill anyway. So those that were at the end of life care, they may have chosen not to go to hospital, but everybody who wanted to go to hospital, we made sure that's what we were making happen.
Al mundo poco debe importarle quién llegará primero a Marte, si Estados Unidos o China. Poco debe interesarle quién será el próximo campeón mundial en Qatar 2022, o quién se convierte en el próximo presidente de los Estados Unidos. Al mundo le interesa saber a quién se le dará el premio Nobel de Medicina por encontrar la vacuna que salve a la humanidad.